Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked with a hammer. Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked with a hammer.
Was she? Was her husband?
Was she?
that happened.
Was she?
That did happen.
That
yeah.
was a Freudian slip I had.
Hopefully she. I mean, was she? I mean, what?
Yeah. Her husband?
Her husband? Not her?
God willing. No,
Yeah.
that really happened. Apparently somebody broke into their house and like.
This was in the past, though, right? This was
like,
or this
yesterday.
just happened.
Sounds like the fucking
It was-
2022 Riddler. Did that
yeah,
shit.
it was literally
Nancy.
Nancy. Literally, it's the most like movie shit. Apparently, a dude broke into their house, attacked Paul Pelosi, and ran around the house screaming.
Paul Pelosi.
Stupid ass.
That's what I meant.
Paul Pelosi.
I'm Paulie Pelosi, and I'm running for mayor.
Yeah.
My wife knows what all the stocks are going to do.
That's the real vocal warm up. Paul Pelosi was pinged with a ball peen. Paul Pelosi was pinged with a ball peen. But he apparently ran around the house going, "Where's Nancy?"
Wait, the guy with the hammer?
Yeah,
That's hard.
allegedly.
That's
No,
hard as
Paul
fuck.
Pelosi.
I hope we get more hammer assassinations. Frankly, I mean, the Shinzo Abe one was crazy.
That shit was insane.
Everyone was joking it was the TF2 skin. He
Yeah.
came out with the Scout's shotgun. And
Right.
that was,
A fucking Banjo Kazooie gun.
yeah. That's like what all these fucking Sigma male think. You'll never be him. You'll never be Shinzo Abe's killer.
No.
That's the real Sigma.
Yeah.
He just did that shit on by himself.
Right.
He's like, let me just figure out how that works.
Not trying to please anybody. That was
No.
for him.
I
was for him.
guarantee he wasn't on any forums. Maybe just anonymously to figure out some schematics of certain.
Yeah,
Times,
maybe some analog books.
The weird thing about that was a lot of people over here very clearly didn't realize how insane that actually was. Like they don't actually understand the gravity
Right.
of like how insane that actually was. Like on so many different levels. Like I tried to explain to people, I was like, this is like the equivalent of like Obama or like George W. Bush or someone getting
Right.
blasted doing a speaking event.
Not
Like,
only blasted, but blasted with a Fuzzy Lumpkins boomstick.
Yeah.
Like a fucking
With Ash from the Evil Dead sawed off shotgun,
Right.
but homemade
right.
like
on a
the-
bike.
Right.
Wasn't he riding a bike?
No,
Was
no,
he?
not
Was
not
he?
when he shot. No.
Oh, he pulled up on a bike, I think.
He did
Or
the like
pulled
he,
off. I
he
don't know.
did the shit where you like ghost ride the
No,
bike and just walk
he got-
off.
He was Supermaning the bike.
He got tackled after he did it. There was
Gotcha.
no like chase or anything. Yeah, no, no.
Get him!
The Forrest Gump run.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing is like he shot once and missed him. And everyone scattered except Shinzo Abe.
It's like, what?
Shinzo
No one's coming
Abe
for me.
literally does this like
It's like
literally if you watch the
The
video
John Travolta Pulp
if
Fiction.
you watch
Yeah.
the video, everyone scatters. Shinzo Abe goes, and then it's like, oh,
yeah.
oh man.
so he could have survived that.
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
the security, complete ass. Obviously, he has
Right.
security there. They let this man get off 2 shots with his makeshift ratchet and clank gun.
Right.
Like,
how many analogies can we
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank was the,
The
first thing that
Roadhog
came
gun
on.
from Overwatch.
right. Just fucking
There was
Just,
a claw chain that came out of the gun.
right.
Right.
That's funny.
It's like a Courage the Cowardly Dog. Fucking double
Some
barrel.
codename Kids Next Door invention shit.
Yeah.
That's
Jimmy Neutron shotgun.
there's
Right. Imagine if he went brain blast while killing the prime minister.
There's so much to unpack with that, though.
Mhm.
Just like the propaganda of the deed piece of it,
Yeah.
the Japanese cultural context and response part of it, who Shinzo Abe actually was, and like how he was basically a fascist, like a soft fascist publicly.
Yeah.
So many layers, but like when I would talk to people out here as it was happening, everyone was just kind of like, Whoa.
It's like,
Wow.
That's generally where I
Yeah.
come to it. It's just
Yeah.
like, shit is crazy.
right.
No,
Like,
but it's like
yo, it's wild out here. You better watch your back.
I'm talking about like an ethnocentric, like,
Mhm.
whoa,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
wild. You know,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah. Right.
Right.
like
Like,
nothing. I don't care about anything that happens
Right.
outside of this.
I think about it like we are collectively, we're losing our minds.
Yeah.
Like we're willing to
Right.
do whatever at this
Right.
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 Like, damn.
point. Yeah.
Like a whoa that excludes indigenous people. Somehow.
The ball peen hammer one is like, I just feel like we're gonna see more weird thrifty assassinations.
I'm
Thrifty,
I'm ready for
Etsy,
that. Just
Etsy
like-
assassinations.
Yeah. If Pinterest had like, this is a million different ways you can kill someone theoretically, allegedly,
Right. Kill somebody.
that
with,
would be wild.
kill somebody with a knit hat.
Yeah.
Etsy assassinations. Wow.
Imagine
Yo.
if Nancy Pelosi, God forbid, like was killed with a hammer. That would be the wildest historical event
what
in
a
U.S.
crazy-
just
history.
at the level of like the feds
Psychotic.
are like we let this happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this
Yeah.
happened. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I feel like just the fact that her husband got beat up with a hammer is gonna be in
so
history
he
books.
did get beat up.
He's in recovery right now.
Wow.
Goodness.
Yeah. Dude was in the house.
Paul
But if-
Pelosi.
But like it feels like one of those, like when that dude was like Black Lives Matter, fucking vandalized my house, and he was standing there with like a burnt American flag and Blacks
Right.
Rule
Blacks
on the
Rule.
fucking on the driveway. It
Right.
feels like that.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck would? First of all, if you walked into somebody's house with a hammer, do you think somebody would answer you if you were like, "Where's Nancy?
Right.
Tell me where she is." I'd be like, "No."
It's just insanity. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Like, I think that Riddler character really is the real. That's the pulse.
Yeah.
Is-
Have we
is
talked
that
about
shit.
that movie?
We've talked about it's kind of like implied sort of fascistic undertones.
Yeah.
Or it's inevitably a pro-police movie.
Yeah.
I want to speak to the propaganda of the deed piece for a second, though.
Meaning with the Shinzo Abe, you're saying, or just in general,
In general.
the concept.
Yeah, the
itself?
scope of political assassinations or whatever,
Mhm.
and like in the context of there being this collective anger and like some would call it collective psychosis, whatever you want to call it, like and like I want to speak to it at the level of like the first layer of the conversation to me is like there needs to 110% be like an acknowledgement of like, yeah, when you push people to this place, what do you think is going to happen? Right. Like that, there's no question. Like that's like the first level. Like whether people are of sane mind or thinking, whatever that might be, or they have this very clear, you know, political motive or a mix of the two, you know, like that's the first part of it. And it's also, I think another part of that is like empathizing with that. Like people are angry and like pissed off, and certain people are key players amongst ruling class, like global ruling class forces. So people are going to look at you. It's literally like the 21 Savage clip, double XL interview where he's like, if I got more money, then people going to be coming for me. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be good. I don't want to have to look over my back, you know?
Right.
But then like the other layer of it to me is like, God damn, nigga, all that energy all that energy and focus like put into that and put into other things too, like fucking Minecraft. Fuck it. It's like all this, all that energy
just in general. Yeah.
put into all these things, but the shit that could actually get us free right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the solution, like it comes from a place of desperation or depression or isolation. Like no matter the context, I feel like that's usually the case. So it makes sense all across the board, but you're like, damn though, like how could we harness that focus and that energy to come up with revolutionary schemes that are actually like long term and can be sustained. And
yeah, I mean, it's like you use the phrase collective psychosis, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the state that we're already in. And I feel like just somebody being pushed to that point is just like the logical conclusion of that. It's like we're in a position where there's so many like there's so many layers deep. I cannot figure out how to start this sentence. Society's like an onion, you know what I'm saying? I feel like
Society has layers.
It's like you got to peel back so many fucking layers before you actually
society has layers. Ogres have layers.
Ogres have layers. But you got to peel back so many layers before you actually see the like just the baseline of what the fuck is like reality actually is. Mm-hmm. There's so much denial going on, just so many layers of like the concept of the nation state, this whole
like
concept
dissonance.
of voting, like it's just like we built up so many deep levels of cognitive dissonance to where, I mean, that's why we have so many people that truly believe that there's no alternative to capitalism. It's like, and so it really feels like, you know, what other option do you have for some people but to go and assassinate somebody, or like go to fucking Home Depot and buy a hammer. You know what I'm saying?
I always
We talked about it before. It's like if you can't, if I don't see it or I'm not exposed to it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And
so there's like an access to information part of it. There's a
Right.
Lack of structural institutional support part of it. There's like all these layers to why someone wouldn't even get at the surface what we're talking about right now.
And there's it's like there's a point where we have to admit that all roads in the way society's built right now lead to violence, whether it's tacitly or implicitly in some way, but like
yeah, we're passively like through economic means firing people.
Exactly. It's like all of this shit. It's like
patriarchy, white supremacy,
wage slavery, all of these things. It's like, I mean, I keep just like telling my jokes on the show, but like I've been doing one that's just like, get a fucking job. Having somebody tell you that you didn't get a job is literally just them being like, I think you should die. I hope somebody else does. I hope somebody else doesn't, but like,
it is.
I think you should die.
Yeah.
You know? Or I at least don't think you explicitly deserve to live, you know?
I want to stay within this, but I just also have always like that end of history shit always fascinates me, because I really do feel like I grew up thinking like, wow, the 60s and 70s were such a crazy time. There was like all these protests and there was assassinations and it was violent in New York City, and it was like it was unsafe. And now we live in modern day where it's like it's safe and things are better and we've fixed some of the problems. And I feel like people still do think the world is like a safer place than it used to be.
Yeah.
And it like, it's arguably worse. It's
I
arguably more unsafe than it used to be.
Yeah. I would argue like people like us and the people around us are just so deeply entrenched in this like neoliberal hell where they just like, violence doesn't directly feel like an option for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
I was just going to say, you know, the analogy I would use? The powder keg is more packed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
When the shit goes off, it's going to be bigger and bigger than ever before each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was saying that, I realized I said that, and right after saying that, like a lot of people feel pushed to violence, and realizing how that's conflicting, but that reconciles those two points.
I just think about how Hezbollah is like exists, and like he's from Dagestan. I looked him up. He's from Dagestan, which is close to Turkey.
He's an ethnic minority, though. People associate with him with like Russia, I guess. But he's I'm saying, I think on the surface, that's like, I don't know. They probably look and they're like, oh, like Chechen, like he's Chechnyan, like.
But like the fact that he's, you know, leaving Drake on scene and touring the world, it's like, this is a bad omen of like where, because think of how much extraction is happening from just that one person.
Right.
How many people are making millions of dollars off of him?
Right. Did he? I want to believe.
How is this
just
related, by the way, to what we
Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's like it's a reflection of what the fucking world is. It's like you're talking about energy going in the wrong place. He's
Well-
a million. I mean,
Well, he also just signed a contract with UFC, so there's the violence right there.